Okay. Uh, I hope you have gone through the previous lesson, that is the differentiation, the introduction part, which we have done formulas and the computations. So I will brief the essential things that we have discussed last week. So we have given an introduction, what is differentiation. But for the examination concern, we need to do some computations. So what I will focus now is the essential part that you have to remember about what we have done the previous session. So we have done the basic formula. Say if you are having a function y is equal x to the power n, we learn the basic definition, the rule. The rule of the definition, when you differentiate this dy by dx, we call this as the differential coefficient. Differential coefficient. So dy by dx, yes, how is the dy by dx? That is equal, you take this n in front, so nx n minus 1. Right? So that is the formula which we have to remember, which we have to by heart. You don't have to by heart. If you have done the questions in the handout, I told there are plenty of questions in the handout. So if you practice that, you can remember the formula. The formula is dy by dx equal nx n minus 1. So this is a very, very important formula. I'm 100% sure you have to apply this formula at the exam. Because whatever the question, we need this formula. So it's a very essential formula. So this is the basic formula. Then we have done some examples. So say for example, if I want to differentiate y is equal to x to the power 3, the basic things that we have started the last session. So dy by dx. How do you calculate the dy by dx? That is equal, you take this 3 front, so that is 3x, the power drop by 1, 3 minus 1. So that is equal 3x squared. Now, you can remember, now when you differentiate, what happened? Always the power drop by 1. If you have x to the power 3, that becomes x to the power 2. So it's very easy. The differentiation is a very easy subject. So you differentiate. When you differentiate, 3 becomes 2. The coefficient, the power comes in front. Then we did the second types of examples. That is, if you are having a coefficient in front of the variable, so the y is equal, say 3x to the power 5. What is the difference? Now you are having a coefficient in front of the variable, coefficient. So now how do we differentiate? So dy by dx, that is equal 3, keep the coefficient as it is, differentiate the variable part. So what is the variable part? X to the power 5. So you take 5 in front, x to the power 5 minus 1, that is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. Now you can multiply this, so the answer is 15x to the power 4. That is the answer. That is the second type of examples that we have done last week. So thirdly, if you are having a function with several parts, here y is equal, before that I have told you, if you have a coefficient like, so y is equal 5, what is the differentiation? If you have a constant, no variables, the differentiation is dy by dx is always 0. Always 0. Here, differentiation is always 0. Why? We don't have anything, then we can write x to the power 0. When you differentiate, 0 comes in front. When you multiply something by 0, everything goes to 0. Therefore, this is done. So, dy by dx equal 0. Right. The next type of example, that is the fourth one, I will write like here. So, y is equal, say function like 2x to the power 3 plus 4x squared minus 2x plus 6, a big one. Now, how do we differentiate this one? We have to differentiate them separately. We differentiate this one separately, this one separately, this one separately, and this one separately. We differentiate separately. So here, dy by dx, now you should be able to tell the answer without much hassle. Now say the power is 3, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6x to the power 2. The power dropped by 1, 3 minus 1. So 6x to the power 2, the sign is plus sign. The sign is plus sign. So 4 into 2, how much? 4 into 2, 8, x to the power 1. I don't want to write 1. See, always the power drop by 1. So 3 becomes 2, 2 becomes 1, minus 2, x to the power 0. I don't want to write the x to the power 0 because x to the power 0 is 1. So here, when you differentiate a constant, that is always 0. I don't want to write the constant. Differentiation of a constant, that is 0. No point of writing that. So these are the four important types of examples which we have done the previous session. If you can remember these four basically, so that is fine. So you don't have to much worry about the multiplication and the function of function, but this is the important one which are needed for the application question as well. Therefore, remember the basic formula dy by dx equal nx n minus 1. So this is a very important formula. Put a star, very important formula. Then these are the types of examples that you have to remember. So finally, we end up with this one. If you can do this one, that's fine. And we have done the change of the variables and other things also. Right. Then notation. So last time I have introduced a notation for the differentiation. If you can remember, I'll rewrite it again. The notation, say, if you have y is equal, says function of x. Y is equal function of x. It's like this here. Y is equal, this is a function of x, right? This is a function of x. So right here, y is equal function of x. This may be 2x squared plus 3x plus 5, 5x squared minus 3x plus 2. So anything, any function. So y is equal fx, then the notation dy by dx is equal f dash x. Got the point? Yeah. When you differentiate, this becomes f dash x, notation for the differentiation. If the examiner asks you to calculate the f dash x, that means the differentiation. Now, today, I am moving from here, write down the topic, second order differentiation. Write the topic, second order differentiation. Second order differentiation. That means, this is the first order differentiation which we have already done. Right? So this is the first order. I'll write it here, first order. Order differentiation. But we didn't say that is the first order. Now, we are going to write the second order differentiation. What do you mean by the second order differentiation? That means, you differentiate the function 2 times. Differentiate the function 2 times. So, the function already differentiated here. Y is equal fx is a function. You already differentiate dy by dx equal f dash x. Now, I want to calculate the second order differentiation. That means, another time we are going to differentiate the function. So, the notation is d2 y by dx 2. That is equal f double dash x. F double dash x. That means f dash x means the first order differentiation. This one, second order differentiation. Second order differentiation. So how do you pronounce this? There's a way of pronouncing. Like a name, we write this d2y by dx2. This is the pronunciation. How to pronounce this? d2y by dx2. d2y by dx2. So d2y by dx2 means the second order differentiation. So could you please write down this one? So write down starting from here. Y is equal fx is the function. Then this one dy by dx equal f dash x, first order differentiation. And second one d2y by dx2, second order differentiation, and the pronunciation. Write down this. Right. Now we'll focus on an example. I'll write this side. Take a function like y is equal 5x to the power 4. Y is equal 5x to the power 4. I want to calculate the second order differentiation. So that means dy by dx. You differentiate the function by using our rule. What is the rule? Nx n minus 1. Keep 5 as it is. 4x 4 minus 1. 4x 4 minus 1. So the answer is 20x to the power 3. The power dropped by 1. 20x to the power 3. Then the second order differentiation d2y by dx2. d2y by dx2, second order differentiation. So here we have multiply 3 into 20, keep 20 as it is, keep 20 as it is. Now differentiate x to the power 3 again. 3 comes front, so 3x 3 minus 1. Same rule nx n minus 1. So 20 into 3, 60 x to the power 2. That is the answer. 60 x to the power 2. So that is the second order differentiation. Again, a complicated function like say y is equal, could you please write down this one again? Example number 1. Say this is the one. Example number 1. Then example number 2. Y is equal 3x 3 minus 4x 2 plus 6x plus 8. Again, obtain the second order differentiation. So d2y by dx, dy by dx, first order, dy by dx. So that is equal 3 into 3, 9x to the power 3 minus 1, 2. Right, I'll write straight away. Minus 4 into 2, 8, x to the power 2 minus 1, that is 1. Plus 6. Differentiate x always 1. When you differentiate x, dy by dx, that is 1. Y is equal x. If you differentiate y is equal x, always that is 1. We have done it last time. So only 6. X to the power 0, I don't know, right? Then constant becomes 0. We done that rule as well. So constant becomes 0. Therefore the answer, the dy by dx equal 9x squared minus 8x plus 6. Then obtain the second order differentiation d2y by dx2. d2y by dx2. So that is again differentiate 2 into 9 because this comes front. So 2 into 9, 18 x to the power 2 minus 1, 1. Plus or minus 8, differentiate x to the power 1, that is 1. So the answer is 18x minus 8. 18x minus 8. When you differentiate, always the power drop by 1. So 3 becomes 2, 2 becomes 1. 2 becomes 1, 1 becomes 0. The others will vanish. So this is the second order differentiation. So write down this as well. Right. We'll move to the next topic. Maximum and minimum values. Maximum and minimum values. Maximum and minimum values. Hope you can remember, last session we did some introduction part. That introduction part, we focus on the practical aspects, right? Now, you can remember, if you take a function, we told the dy by dx is the gradient. Dy by dx is the gradient, right? Dy by dx is the gradient. So we did some constant gradient, speed, and the time. We calculate the constant velocity. Then the second example, we did the changing the speed. So we have a curve. We did how to calculate the gradient. Difference in y-axis divided by difference in x-axis. Difference in y-axis divided by difference in x-axis. So the gradient is dy by dx. We have done that proof last time. The gradient is dy by dx. Now, here, this is a function which is having some maximum value and a minimum value. Function with maximum and a minimum value. So we know if the gradient is like this, we have a positive gradient, right? This side we have positive gradient, right? So the value, look at my hand, the slope is coming down. Slope is coming down, decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. At the maximum point, the slope is 0. Maximum point, the slope is 0. So here we have negative gradient. Maximum, the gradient is 0. Maximum point, gradient is 0. M is equal 0. Then when come this side, look at my hand, it's in the negative side. If the gradient is this side, sorry, this is positive. Positive gradient. Then this side, negative gradient. Negative gradient, and this side again positive gradient. Now look, again the curve comes like this, and at this point again the gradient is parallel to the x-axis. That means the gradient is 0. Gradient is 0. So at the minimum point, the gradient m is equal 0. So we good to know that the maximum point, the gradient is 0, and the minimum point also, gradient is 0. So we did the calculation last time. Dy by dx is the gradient. So at the maximum point, dy by dx equal 0, and the minimum point also, dy by dx equal 0. What is the condition? At the maximum point, dy by dx 0. At the minimum point, dy by dx is 0. So both points dy by dx equals 0 because gradient is 0. And another thing you can observe, when you look at the graph, what happened to the gradient when it crossed the maximum? What happened to the gradient? Gradient becomes positive to negative. So gradient becomes positive to negative once it crosses the maximum. Correct? Gradient becomes positive to negative when it crosses the maximum point. Then what happened here? Minimum point negative to positive. Right? Negative to positive, that is coming in the minimum point. So when it goes through the minimum point, the gradient negative to positive, it goes to the maximum point positive to negative maximum, and negative to positive minimum. So this is the maximum and minimum point where we have, in a graph we have the 2 points maximum and minimum. At those 2 points dy by dx equals 0. So could you please write down, draw this graph with this? Right. Now the question is, maximum point also dy by dx equals 0, minimum point also dy by dx equals 0. So both points dy by dx equals 0. Now, how do we identify whether the point is a maximum point or a minimum point? That is a question. So I will explain that by using an example. So take this example, y is equal x squared minus 6x, sorry, we'll put this one, x squared plus x minus 6, x squared plus x minus 6. So this is a function. So we obtain for maximum and minimum point, don't write. So I need to put some theory part here, don't write, but just look at the board. Now y is equal x squared plus x, very simple function. I am going to differentiate. Why I am going to differentiate? I want to find out the maximum or minimum points. I want to find out the maximum or minimum points. So dy by dx equal, differentiate. When you differentiate this one, 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. So we did at the maximum or minimum point. What is the condition? Our condition here, at the maximum or minimum point dy by dx equal 0. At the maximum or minimum dy by dx equals 0. So we put that condition, we say first order condition, we say that first order condition, FOC. I'll write the condition at the maximum or minimum point, at the maximum or minimum point dy by dx equal 0. At the maximum or minimum point dy by dx equal 0. So I will make this equal 0. Therefore 2x plus 1 equals 0. I would like to calculate the value of x, so I will take this one to the right hand side, minus 1, 2x equal minus 1, then x equal minus half. X equal minus half. At the x equal minus half, either the point would be a maximum point or a minimum point. The question is whether that point is a maximum point or a minimum point. So how do you find out? That is why we have learned the second order differentiation. So here, when you obtain the second order differentiation, look, if d2y by dx2 less than 0, correct? if d2y by dx2 less than 0, maximum point. Max. If d2y by dx2, the second order differentiation greater than 0, minimum point. If the second order is positive, that is a maximum point. If the second order is, if the second order is negative, maximum, positive, minimum. Right? So, negative maximum, positive minimum. Look at the question. In this question, we got x equal half. Then we need to find out whether this point is a maximum point or a negative point. Maximum or minimum point. So here, I will obtain the second order differentiation. d2y by dx2. d2y by dx2. Now this is equal, look, dy by dx equal 2x plus 1. When you differentiate 2x plus 1 again, the answer is plus 2. X becomes 1, so plus 2. Plus 2 is greater than 0. Look at that one. d2y by dx2 is greater than 0, then the minimum point. Since d2y by dx2 greater than 0, x equal minus half is a minimum point. Since d2y by dx2 greater than 0, x equal minus half is a minimum point. So that is complete the question. So to obtain the maximum minimum point, we got this point x equal minus half. X equal minus half is a minimum point. Before drawing the curve, I would like you to write this condition. What is the condition? Under this graph, right? Under this graph, write down the condition. d2y, if d2y by dx2, if d2y by dx2 less than 0, the point is a maximum point. A point is a maximum point. The next line, if d2y by dx2 greater than 0, the point is a minimum point. The point is a minimum point. So this is the minimum point. Right. Then go to the example. So write down this example and the calculation. Both here. This side and this side. This finally, it's a maximum point. So write down this first. Right. Now we'll draw the curve. Rough sketch is enough. We know that x equal half is here, minus half. So that is the Here we have the minimum point. Then we need to calculate what is the minimum point. Say for example, if it is a cost function, say this is a cost function, then our requirement is at what quantity the cost is minimized as well as what would be the minimum cost. There are two questions. At what quantity the cost is minimum, and the second one, what is the minimum cost? So both we need to calculate. So we already calculate at x equal minus half. This is not a practical example, that's why you got minus half. Practical question, you will never get minus half for the quantity. It's not valid. So in a practical question, you will get a plus value. For theoretical question, I got the minus half. So I will explain now to calculate the value. Right? So I'll write it here. Value at minimum point. Value at minimum point. So our function y is equal x squared plus x minus 6. Then the x equal minus half, I got the minimum cost. Maybe a negative value. Right? Minimum value, right? Not cost. Minimum value, maybe a negative value. So I can substitute x equal minus half here. So y is equal 1 over 4 minus half minus 6. So 1 over 4 minus half, that is minus 1 over 4. So answer minus 6 plus minus 1 over 4. This becomes minus 1 over 4, right? So minus 6 minus 1 over 4, that means 6.25 minus 6.25. So minus 6.25 is the value. And again, we have done the quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. At what values the x equals 0? So if it is a quadratic equation, here y is equal x squared minus plus x minus 6. You can separate minus 6 into two components. So that is x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. You separate this into the two components, plus 3 and minus 2. Minus 2. When you add this, that becomes plus 1. When you multiply, that is minus 6. Or maybe you can use the calculator. Quadratic equations, go to the equation mode. Use your calculator, go to the equation mode. Then press the mod key 3 times. Then you get EQN. Press 1. Then you are getting the two unknowns. Again, put the right hand side of the big key. Then you are getting right hand side of the big key, that is a copy or reply key. Then you are getting the power 2, degree 2. Then you can insert the values. A is equal 1, B is equal 1, C is equal minus 6. Then you put the equal sign, you are getting the two answers. But manually, I can use the factoring method, separate minus 6 into two components, and I write it here, 3x minus 2x. Then I will take the common factor from the first two, x plus 3, second one minus 2, again x plus 3. So here we have x plus 3 and x minus 2. So here there are two factors. So when y is equal 0 at the x axis, y is equal 0. When y is equal 0, x plus 3 times x minus 2 equals 0. Here, this is equal 0. So then we are getting how much? X plus 3 equals 0, or the product is equal 0 means either this equal to 0 or this part equals 0. So if x plus 3 equals 0, x equal minus 3. If x minus 2 equals 0, x equal plus 2. Minus 3 and plus 2. So the curve will intercept x-axis at minus 3 and plus 2. Now with this information, I will draw the curve. Now this is the curve. This is the graph we are going to put minus half. Then we know for sure the x-axis, the minimum value. We got the minimum value minus 6. Say for example here, We got here minus 6.25. Minus 6.25, that is the value we got. Then the axis will intercept, the two values are x equal minus 3 is here, and plus 2 is somewhere here. So the curve comes from here, goes through the minimum point, goes through the minimum point, and again going through this one. Since this is a x squared curve, this is a symmetric curve. The symmetric curve, the curve will intercept x-axis at minus 3 and plus 2. Minus 3 and plus 2. The minimum, this is the axis. Maybe for all levels also you have done this one, symmetric axis. Symmetric axis is x equal minus half is the symmetric axis, right? X equal minus half. Then anyone can tell this one? Yes, this is 6 minus 6. That is the minus 6. When x equals 0, this is minus 6. So minus 6. So this is the complete graph. Now this is enough. When x equal minus 3, the curve intercepts the x-axis, and x equal half, the value will get minus 6.5, and the curve will intercept y-axis at minus 6, and again minus plus 2. So this is a symmetric curve. So this completes the question. So x squared plus 6 minus 6, the curve is like this, a minimum curve. Right. Draw this one. Write down this also. First write down this two, the calculation of y value, and the simplification of the quadratic equation, then go to the graph. Okay. Now you observe this one is a minimum curve. I will give another question, maybe a maximum curve. So basically you can now observe in this equation, the x squared term is positive. Right? X squared term is positive. Then you got a minimum curve. So when the x squared term is negative, you are getting the maximum curve. The reason is the second order differentiation. Right. Now we knew a handout, page number 15 differentiation, page number 16, you can see bottom of the page number 16, bottom of the page. So find the maximum or minimum point of the following functions. So I have given you a couple of functions there. So first function is x squared minus 4x plus 3. Second one, x to the power 3 minus 3x squared. I'll come to that one later. So we'll do another example. Say y is equal minus x squared yeah 12 minus x squared. 12 minus x squared. So we'll do this calculation. So how are we going to do? I need to calculate the first order differentiation, dy by dx. So dy by dx equal, so when you differentiate 12, that is 0. When you differentiate minus 1, that is yes, that is minus 1 minus 2x squared. Sorry, 2x only. When it comes to here, 2x. So minus 1 minus 2x. First order condition at maximum or minimum points, dy by dx equal 0. At the maximum or minimum points, dy by dx equal 0. So make it 0 minus, therefore minus 1 minus 2x equals 0. So 2x equal minus 1. You take this maybe minus 2x to this side. So 2x equal minus 1. Again the x equal minus half. Same answer, but maybe a different curve. Right. X equal minus half may be a maximum point, may be a minimum point. We do not know whether the point is a maximum or minimum point at x equal minus half. Then our duty to check whether the point is a maximum point or a minimum point. So we obtain the second order differentiation d2y by dx2. Second order differentiation d2y by dx2. This is the first order differentiation. I will differentiate this again. Minus 1 becomes 0. Minus 2x becomes minus 2. Minus 2x becomes minus 2. So this is a maximum function, because second order differentiation is negative. Second order differentiation negative at the maximum function. So this is a maximum function. So x equal minus 2. So therefore x equal minus half is a maximum point. A maximum point. Could you please write down this up to here before drawing the curve? Right. Now I will draw the curve. Now maximum point. What is the maximum point? So maximum point that is y is equal 12 minus x squared. When x equal half, minus half. When x equal minus half, substitute. When x equal minus half may be a maximum point. We got maximum point when x equal half. So substitute half in this equation. So y is equal 12 minus half minus plus 1 over 4. Because minus 1 over 4 into minus 1 over 2 into minus 1 over 2, that is plus 1 over 4. So since we have minus sign, it is minus. So minus into minus plus 12 plus half minus 1 over 4. So that is 12.25. When you simplify this, use the calculator. Half minus 1 over 4, that is 0.5 minus 0.25. So that is 0.25. So 12.25 is the maximum point. Then again, you can find out the quadratic equation here. Y is equal 12 minus x minus 12 minus x squared. Then you can separate this. I can rewrite. So when quadratic equation equals 0, you get maximum or minimum. Sorry, the curve will intercept the x-axis at the 2 points. I am going to calculate these 2 points. Quadratic equations. So that is 12 minus x squared is equal 0. That is y-axis equals 0. So take it to this side, minus x to this side, x squared plus x minus 12 equals 0. I take all these terms to this side because I don't like to deal with minus x squared. So I want to make it plus x squared. So I take it to the left hand side. Minus x squared become plus x squared. Minus x become plus x. Plus 12 becomes minus 12. So that is this. Now you can use the calculator, equation mode, or maybe factoring method. So I will do the factoring method. X squared, 12 is 4 into 3, right? 4 into 3 plus 1, that is minus 3. 4 into minus 3. So here we have x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12 equals 0. From the first two, you can take x as the common factor. From the second two, you can take the minus 3 as the common factor. So here we have x plus 4 times x minus 3 equals 0. So x equal minus 4 or x equal plus 3. So the 2 points are x equal minus 4 and x equal plus 3. So now I can draw the curve. Everything is fine. So the curve is like this. X equal minus half, you are getting maximum point. So the curves, the 2 points are x equal minus 4 and x equal plus 3. So curve will goes like this and it turn here. Curve will go like this and turn and going down from here. This particular point, 12.25. 12.25. The maximum point is 12.25. So that is the maximum point, that is 12.25. So that is the curve. So here we have, if you can go through the second order differentiation. So the second order differentiation is positive here, sorry, negative here. So if the second order differentiation, you draw a graph d2y by dx2 and this is 0. So it goes negative here. The point is negative. A negative value. Some negative values here, this side. So I'll draw this one in the next one, the d2y by dx2 graph. So please complete this up to here, write down this. First you start from here, the calculation of the maximum value, write down this first, then the simplification and finally the graph. Okay. Now we have completed this theory part as well. That is maximum point and the minimum point, right? So we did the basic differentiation, and then we have done the first order differentiation and the second order differentiation. Finally, we obtained the graph as well. So this is the maximum graph. Now you can observe a significant thing now here. The x squared term is negative. This is negative. X squared term is negative, then you are getting a maximum point. So if by looking at the curve, you can say whether the curve is a maximum or minimum. Here, if x squared is term is positive, if x squared term is positive, minimum point or minimum curve or minimum point, you can obtain minimum point or minimum curve, say. If that's a summary, x squared term is negative, maximum curve. X squared term is positive, minimum curve. X squared term is negative. Write down this. That is the summary, positive and negative. So by looking at the curve, now you can pick if the x squared term is positive or minimum curve. If the x squared term is negative, that is a maximum curve. So that's the summary of what we have done here, 2 questions, right? The third one, the same graph, it can be both points, maximum point and a minimum point. Both points are possible. So we'll take one of the question in your handout, page number 16. Page number 16. So kindly go to the question number 2. Kindly go to the question number 2. Just differentiate this function for a second. Differentiate this function and equal it to 0. Right. Question number 2. Y is equal x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 2. Y is equal x to the power 3. Y is equal x to the power 3 minus 3x squared minus 3x squared plus 2. Now this is a function with power 3. Function with power 3. So if it is a function with power 3, there may be a maximum point as well as minimum point. We'll work out. So dy by dx equal 3x 3 minus 1, 3 into 2 minus 6x 2 minus 1, that's all, that is equal 0, constant. Then what is the condition? So the first order condition for maximum or minimum point, dy by dx equals 0. For a maximum or minimum point, dy by dx equals 0. So make it 0. 3x squared minus 6x equals 0. You can take 3x as a common factor. Then x minus 2 equals 0. So either 3x should be equal to 0 or x minus 2 should equal to 0. So this means x equals 0, x equal 2. So the 2 points are x equals 0 and x equal 2. Now the 2 points, we are getting one would be a maximum point, the other one would be a minimum point. The 2 points are one maximum, one minimum. We don't know which point is maximum or which point is minimum. Then we have to work out which point maximum, minimum. Could you please write down this up to here? Then we'll work out what point maximum, what point minimum. Obtain the second order differentiation to calculate maximum minimum point. So d2y by dx2, that is equal, differentiate 3x squared becomes 6x. 3x squared becomes 6x minus 6. Second order differentiation. Now, when you look at the question, you can't say whether the point is a maximum point or a minimum point because it's with the variable. Therefore, not like the previous two questions, we can't exactly say whether the point is maximum or minimum. Then what we have to do here, we have to substitute the two coordinates which we have got earlier. When x equals 0, d2y by dx2, what's the value? And again, when x equal, the other value is 2, d2y by dx2. Now substitute these two coordinates and calculate. So the 2 points, x equals 2 and x equals 0. Which point is maximum, which point is minimum? Now could you please substitute this one in the formula here? X equals 0 means this part goes to 0. So the answer is minus 6. If this is a negative figure, we already know the point is a maximum point. So x equals 0 is a maximum point. X equals 0 is a maximum point because the second order derivative is negative. Then again we go back to the other point, x equal 2. Obviously this should be, if this is maximum, the other one should be minimum. We'll try out. X equal to, substitute x equal to 2 into 6, 12 minus 6. 12 minus 6 is 6. When x equal when x equal 2, d2y by dx2 is plus 6, then x equal to is a minimum point. So we got here x equal 0 is a maximum point, x equal 2 is a minimum point. Then what is the maximum value? Maximum value. Substitute your answer in the formula. Y is equal x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 2. When x equals 0, this goes to 0, this goes to 0, the answer is 2. Y is equal to. The maximum value is 2. Then what's the minimum value? Again substitute the same formula. Y is equal x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 2. X equal to then 8 minus 3 into 4 plus 2. 3 into 4, that is minus 12. So 8 minus 12 plus 2. That is 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 minus 12 is minus 2. So we got the minimum value minus 2. Then we can draw the curve. We can draw the curve now. So draw the curve here. So we got the points x equals 0, x equal 2. X equals 0 and x equal 2. Now when x equal 0, the value is 2. When x equal 0, the value is 2. When x equal 2, the value is minus 2. So these are the 2 points. Here, one is here, the other one is here. X equals 0, the maximum point is 2. X equal plus 2, the minimum point is this one. The curves goes like this. Curves comes from this side. This is the maximum point, right? And it goes like this, and this is the minimum point. So this should be the type of the curve. This should be the type of the curve. Now this region, the d2y by dx2 is a negative one. So here maximum point and the minimum point. So the values are also maximum point, the value is 2, the minimum point is minus 2. So these are the values, y and x. So complete this graph as well. Write down this one and this one, then the graph. Right. So it can be maximum and minimum both. So we have done all these 3 scenarios, maximum point, minimum point, and maximum and minimum both points. So in your handout, there are a couple of questions pending. So I have done the question number 2. So please do the question number 1, 3, 4, and 5. All are similar to this. So what we have to do is differentiate equally to 0. You get 2 points, maximum and minimum. Sometimes if it is q to the power 3, you get exactly the 2 points, maximum and minimum. So question number 3, 4, and 5, maximum, minimum, both points are there. 1 and 2, maximum points and minimum points only 1 point. So please complete this, the rest of the 3 questions as homework. Now, we need to move to the practical aspects of the differentiation. before that, we have to again recall our memory about cost function and revenue functions, which we have done couple of weeks ago. What is a cost function? What is a revenue function? What is a profit function? So I don't want to give notes on this area because already I have done this under the application side of the quadratic equations. Application side of the quadratic equation, we have done the cost function and revenue function intercept at particular points. We call that break-even point. We got supply functions and the demand functions. So they are intercept at the equilibrium points, market equilibrium point. So, but I will revise again. What is cost function? Because I need the application side. You need to update the memory of what is cost and what is revenue. So what is the cost function? We basically separated cost into fixed cost and the variable cost. So the total cost, we say the total cost is equal fixed cost plus variable cost. Right? So we define the fixed cost. We define the fixed cost. The fixed cost is not depend on the number of units you produce. Right? Fixed cost not depend on the number of units, but variable cost is strictly depend on the number of units. So we separate again the fixed cost plus we say something like variable cost per unit. So variable cost per unit into number of units. Variable cost per unit into number of units. So we did the total cost function like this. Then we say if you divide the total cost by the quantity, you are getting average cost. AC, average cost. What is it? The total cost divided by quantity, that is equal average cost. So if you want, you can just draw this, just write down this. So this is the fixed cost, and this is the variable cost. Definition already given, therefore just write down the formula, that's enough. So total cost is equal fixed cost plus the variable cost. So total cost is equal fixed cost plus variable cost per unit. So this is the amount you need to produce 1 unit, a variable cost, into variable cost like raw material, water, electricity. So the total value depends on the number of units you produce. And the total cost divided by quantity, we call that is a average cost. Then we discuss something called as revenue function. So the revenue function, we say the revenue is a product of price and quantity. Revenue is a multiplication of price and quantity. Sometimes we have done some examples. Sometimes the price is not given. Instead of price, they have given you the demand function. We did one example that like that. Okay. So revenue is equal price into quantity. Revenue is equal price into quantity. Right? So revenue function, if you divide the revenue function by the quantity, you are getting something called the demand function. Demand function. We did this also. Revenue divided by quantity, that is the demand function. Then the profit, how do you arrive at the profit? Profit is equal revenue minus cost. So that is revenue minus cost. Profit is equal revenue minus cost. So we have done this earlier, just to refresh your minds. So we have done the cost function, revenue function, and the profit function. Now, in the application part, we are going to do some computations here. You may have heard something called in economics you are doing marginal cost. What is the marginal cost? Marginal cost is the cost increment in a given point. In a given point, if you increase 1 unit, what is the extra cost needed? At a given quantity, you increase another unit, what would be the extra cost? That is called the marginal cost. So the marginal cost calculation is one of the application part of the differentiation. So differentiation, one application part is the marginal cost. So I'll write here the total cost that is fixed cost plus variable cost. When you differentiate, I'll put it here, differentiate. When you differentiate the cost function, you are getting marginal cost, dTc by dx. So that is called MC. What is it, MC? Marginal cost. Total cost function differentiate with respect to the quantity. This may be X, this may be quantity Q, right? Whatever for the example, it's depend on the Q or X. So dTc by dx, differentiate the cost function, you are getting marginal cost. You are getting marginal cost. Now, when you divide by the quantity, you are getting average cost. So what is important here, when you differentiate the total cost, you are getting marginal cost. The second one, revenue function. Revenue is equal price into quantity. When you differentiate the revenue function, you are getting dr by dx. What is it? Differentiate the revenue function, dr by dx. So that is equal marginal revenue. That is equal marginal revenue. That is equal marginal revenue. Right? So we did. So write down these two. Calculation of marginal cost and the marginal revenue. This is marginal cost and this is marginal revenue. Marginal cost and the marginal revenue. So write down this. Right. The next one is profit maximization. The profit maximization. So the company objective is to maximize the profit. Not only the profit marginal cost, marginal calculations, but our practical requirement is sometimes some companies want to identify the minimum cost. So in economic decisions, right, the period like this COVID period, so the companies are running at the minimum cost. The minimum labor requirement, not only the light, water, electricity, so minimum. So if they want to function at minimum, what would be the minimum values? We can again differentiate and like in the maximum minimum, we differentiate the cost function and find the minimum cost. But ultimate objective of a company is to maximize their profits. That is the ultimate objective of a company. So maximization of the profits, there are two ways of calculations. First one, at the maximum profits, MC equal MR, marginal cost is equal marginal revenue. So which we have done here, calculation of marginal cost, marginal revenue. At the profit maximization point, at the maximum profits, MC equal MR. From this you can calculate the quantity where the profit is maximized. You can calculate the quantity where the profit is maximized. Second one, the profit function. Differentiate. So this is the first one and this is the second one. Differentiate the profit function. So differentiate the profit function and d phi by dx equals 0 will give maximum profits. So where you need to check d2 phi by dx2 whether negative. So two approaches are here. One is marginal cost equal marginal revenue, marginal cost is equal marginal revenue, profit is maximized. The second one, differentiate the profit function, d phi by dx equals 0. Phi is the profit function. Differentiate the profit function, then we'll give the maximum point. Check whether the point is d2 phi by dx2 is whether it's a negative. The second order should be negative, then only you are getting the maximum point. So these are the two approaches of finding maximum points of a profit function. So these are the theoretical parts of the application questions. Right? So complete this one as well. Right. Now, take your handouts. Page number 17. So, I have given you some questions for you to calculate. First couple of questions are MCQs, then some essay type questions as well. So, we'll do the handout now. Question number 1. A quadratic equation has a negative x squared term. First one, a quadratic equation has a negative x squared term. When you read this, you can know negative x squared term means the point is a maximum point, right? Negative x squared term is the point, term is a maximum point. So you can drop some answers 1 and 2. Then maybe C and D are correct. The curve intercept x-axis at -2 and 6. These are the value points. The curve intercept x-axis at -2 and 6. -2 and 6. These are the intercept points. Right? Then you need to find out the maximum point. Maximum point. We know that this curve is symmetric. This curve is symmetric. Then if the curve is symmetric, we need to find out the middle of this axis. Here, -2 to +6. The gap is how much? The gap is how much? Gap is 8. Don't make 6 minus 2. The gap is from here 0 to 6 and 2. 6 and 2 is the total gap is 8. The middle is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So take 4 from here, that is 6 minus 4, that is 2. 6 minus 4 is equal 2. So when x equal 2, it may be a maximum or minimum point. Since the x squared term is negative, the point is maximum. So the answer is answer is it has a maximum value at x equal to, answer number D. It has a maximum value at x equal to, answer number D. Question number 2, a similar one. A quadratic equation has positive s squared term. Now what comes to your mind first is minimum. Because x squared is positive, then it is a minimum point. Okay. A quadratic equation has positive x squared term. The curve intercept x-axis at -4 and 6. Okay. -4 and 6. What is the total gap? 6 plus 4 up to here. This is 0. So 6 plus 4, that should be 10. 10 divided by 2 should be 5. That is the middle. So 6 minus 5 should be 1. 6 minus 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Here, 1. So maybe here you are getting the negative value, minimum value. So minimum value at x equal 1. So the answer number, the minimum value at x equal 1, answer number B. That's the second one. Answer number B. It has the minimum value of x equal 1. Question number 3. A quadratic function has a maximum point. It cuts the x-axis -2 and x-axis at 1 and 6. Calculate the x-coordinate of the maximum point. A quadratic function has a maximum point. They have given that's a maximum point. It cuts the y-axis at -2. Here, I'll write here. Y-axis at -2. Y-axis at -2. X-axis at 1 and 6. X-axis at 1 and 6. 1, 6. Oh, there's a printing mistake. So it should be -1 and 6. Not +1, it should be -1. Can it be the function has a maximum value? No, okay. We'll do this way. So 1. So curve goes like this. It cuts 1, goes up and coming down here. Correct? Goes up and coming down here. So what is the middle value? 1 and 6. The gap is how much? Gap is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. 2.5. So what is the middle? 6 minus 2.5, that is 3.5. 6 minus 2.5, that is 3.5. Right? So middle is 3.5. Here the middle is 3.5. So the answer, you need to calculate the calculate x-coordinate of the maximum point. So x-coordinate of the maximum point is 3.5. Answer is 3.5. X-coordinate is 3.5. Question number 4. The relationship between the product cost and the number of units are given in a function. C is equal 6x squared plus 9x plus 2. Compute the value of the rate of change of the cost. Rate of change of the cost with respect to the x variable you need to calculate when x equal 2. So you have given the cost function now. So the cost function is C is equal C is equal 6x squared plus 9x plus 2. 6x squared 9x plus 2. Compute the value of the rate of change. Rate of change, that means differentiation. dc by dx. Rate of change is the differentiation. So that is 12x plus 9. 12x plus 9. So you need to find out the rate of change at x equal to when you produce 2 units. When x equal to, so this is equal 12 into 2 plus 9. 12 into 2, 24 plus 9, 33. 24 plus 9 is 33. Question number 5. The cost function, these questions are true or false question, question number 5. So you have given a function, cost function, and then you need to identify whether they are true or false. Okay, the cost function is C is equal 6x squared minus 6x squared minus 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5, where C is the cost function per week and X is the number of units produced, measures in thousands, X measures in thousands. State whether the following statements are true or false. The first one is average cost of the product is 6x minus 3. Average cost. How to calculate the average cost? AC is equal total cost. This is a total cost function. TC divided by quantity. 6x squared minus 3x plus 5 divided by x. Divide by x. So this should be divided by x. This also should divide by x. This also should divide by x. All the terms should be divided by x. So this becomes 6x minus 3 plus 5 divided by x. Is it true? False. Because they have given you 6x minus 3 only. Therefore, that is false. First one is false. Second one, the cost is minimized when the producing 4,000 units. Minimize. What we have to do is it minimizing? Yes, it is minimizing because 6 is x squared is a positive term. We learn if x squared term is positive, that is a minimum function. So at particular point, it will be minimum. I am not sure whether that point is 4,000 or not. Then I have to work out. How do I work out? Obtain the differentiation. dTc by dx. Differentiation. dTc by dx. Differentiate. When you differentiate this one, 12x minus 3. 12x minus 3. So substitute dTc by dx equals 0 for minimum point. So you make it equal 12x minus 3 equals 0. 12x minus 3 equals 0. Take it to this side. 12x is equal 3. X equal 3 divided by 12. So x is equal 1 over 4. 1 over 4. So if x measures in 1000, so the value is 1 over 4 into 1000, that is 250 units. 250 units. Therefore, the answer is again false. Write down that 250 units. So the answer is false. මේකම තව චුට්ටක් තියෙනවා මේ ක්වෙස්චන් එකේ ඔව් තව පාර්ට් එක පාර්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා තව කළා ඉතුරු ටික ඊළඟ එකට කඩමු. Okay, question number Question number 6, that also true and false question. Question number 6, also true and false questions. Here we have the monthly profit of a company can be well approximated by the formula. So the formula is given P is equal 32x minus 2x squared, where P equals to the total profit and X equals the number of units. The average profit equation. So average profit is equal, again the profit function divided by quantity. So the profit divided by quantity, so that 32x divided by quantity minus 2x squared divided by quantity. So the average profit is equal, when you divide by x, 32 minus again divide by x, 2x. 32 minus 2x. 32 minus 2x. So answer is true. That is true. Answer is true. Then the next part is the same question. The total profit is maximized when unit 8. Maximized, you differentiate dp by dx. So that is differentiate this one. So 32x, when you differentiate, that is 32 minus 4x. 32 minus 4x. So 32 minus 4x equals 0. Then 4x equals 32. X equals 8. That is correct. So the profit is maximized when 8 units were sold. Yes, that is true. The question not given whether the X is measured is thousands. So the answer is true. The profit maximized when producing 8 units. So the answer is true. So that is question number 6. 7 onwards we can try. You can try question number 7 onwards and can discuss in the next lesson. Thank you.